Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Puffco Peak Pro dab of the day. Today is Monday, the start of a new year. Hello, everybody. Well, the start of a new year brings with it, unfortunately, baggage from last year. Brings with it things we left unfinished, unsaid, undone. And I want to talk about that today because I want to talk about forgiveness. I want to talk about letting go of grudges and bitterness. We all know what I'm talking about. When someone you care about hurts you, you can hold on to the anger, resentment, and thoughts of revenge forever, or embrace forgiveness and move forward. I'm going to sidebar for a second. One of the reasons I'm doing this video is I lost my mom when she was very young, 54 years old. I wasn't able to speak to her and apologize for being fresh and disobeying her as an adolescent and a young adult. Words left unsaid. So, who has not been hurt by the actions or words of another person? Perhaps a parent constantly criticized you growing up. A colleague sabotaged a project. Or your partner had an affair. Or maybe you've had a traumatic experience, such as being physically or emotionally abused by somebody close to you. These things happen in this real world. So what we want to talk about as we go further through this topic is that these wounds can leave you with lasting feelings of anger and bitterness, even vengeance. But if you don't practice forgiveness, you might be the one who pays most dearly. By embracing forgiveness, you can also embrace peace, hope, gratitude, and joy. And I'm going to add opportunity. Consider how forgiveness can lead you down the path of physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Well, what is forgiveness? Forgiveness means different things to different people. Remember that. Generally, however, it involves a decision to let go of resentments or thoughts of revenge. The act that hurt or offended you might always still be with you, but forgiveness can lessen its grip on you and help you free yourself and get the control back from the person who harmed you. Forgiveness can even lead to feelings of understanding, empathy, and compassion for the person who hurt you. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the harm done or making up with the person who caused the harm. Rather, forgiveness brings kind of a peace that helps you go on with life. There are a lot of benefits of forgiving someone. You could have a healthier relationship, improve mental health for yourself, less anxiety, stress, and hostility in your mind, lower blood pressure for sure, fewer symptoms of depression, a stronger immune system, improved cardiac health, and improved self-esteem. But it's so easy to hold a grudge. Why is it so easy to hold that grudge? Being hurt by someone, particularly someone you love and trust, can cause anger, sadness, and confusion. If you dwell on hurtful events or situations, grudges filled with resentment, vengeance, and hostility can take root. If you allow negative feelings to crowd out positive feelings, you might even find yourself swallowed up by your own bitterness or sense of injustice. Some people are naturally more forgiving than others, but even if you're a grudge holder, almost anyone can learn to be more forgiving. Remember, there are effects of holding a grudge. If you're unforgiving, you might bring bitterness and unhappiness to everything you do. You might become so wrapped up in the wrong that you can't enjoy the present. You might become depressed or anxious and feel that your life lacks purpose if you can't get past this. You're going to lose valuable connections with other people just because you can't put that grudge away. So how do we reach a state of forgiveness? Well, forgiveness is a commitment to personalized process of change. To move from suffering to forgiveness, you might want to do some things like this. Maybe recognize the value of forgiveness and how it can improve your life. How about identify what needs healing and who needs to be forgiven for what? Acknowledge your emotions about the harm done to you and how they affect your behavior, and work to release them by choosing to forgive the person who's offended you. Then you move away from your role as a victim, release the control and the power that the offending person and the situation had over your life. And as you let go of grudges, you'll no longer define your life by how you've been hurt. Instead, you might even find compassion and understanding. But sometimes forgiveness is challenging, especially if the person who hurt you doesn't admit wrong. So, what happens if I can't forgive someone? Well, try the same thing I've said before, practice empathy. Try seeing the situation from another person's perspective and ask yourself why he or she would behave in such a way. Perhaps you've reacted similar in a same situation. And try to reflect on the times that you've hurt yourself. Hurt others. And those who've forgiven you. And truly be aware that forgiveness is not instantaneous, it's a process. And even small hurts that we've been given may need to be revisited and forgiven over and over again. Now, what do we get out of forgiveness? Does forgiveness guarantee reconciliation with the person who hurt us? If the hurtful event involves someone whose relationship you value, forgiveness can lead to reconciliation. Not always the case, however. It might be impossible if the offender is no longer alive or is unwilling to communicate with you. In other cases, reconciliation might not even be appropriate. Still, forgiveness is possible, even if reconciliation is not. There's an old saying, we can change ourselves, but we really can't change others. So what if the person I'm forgiving doesn't change? Getting another person to change his or her actions, behavior, or words is not the point of forgiveness. We need to think of forgiveness more about how it can change our life by bringing us peace, happiness, and emotional and spiritual healing. Forgiveness can take away the power the other person continues to wield in your life. Now, what if the converse of all this is true? What if you, what if I, what if we are the people who need forgiveness? Well, this first step is to honestly assess and acknowledge the wrongs you've done and how they have affected others. But try avoiding judging yourself too harshly. If you're truly sorry for something you've said or done, consider admitting it to those you've harmed. Speak of your sincere sorrow or regret and ask for forgiveness without making excuses. Boom. And then remember, however, you can't force someone to forgive you. Others need to move to forgiveness in their own time. But whatever happens, remember to commit to treating other people with compassion, empathy, and love. Because the most important thing about forgiveness is how you're able to come through it. And truly, forgiveness is a process. It's not one and done. If you enjoyed today's topic, today's video, please subscribe. Send me your comments. I love them and I reply to all of them. Thank you for watching today's video. Let's take our dab today of SoCal Dabbers GMO Diamonds with our Puffco Peak Pro. Here we go. I chose forgiveness as a topic because it's been a tough year last year for me. And I want to remember and stake out a place so that the people, if I did any damage to anyone, I can be forgiven and I can forgive the people that did damage to me. Remember, life moves this way. You come up on this top of the Ferris wheel, you have two things: hope and opportunity. So cheers to forgiveness, bringing us all hope and opportunity. Have a great day. And thanks again for watching The Real Senior Stoner. Cheers.